The 1993 1-cent coin, better known as a Lincoln penny, is one of the most widely circulated coins of modern U.S. coinage. At first glance, it looks like just another small piece of change, something people often ignore or toss into a jar. However, when we study it closely, we discover that this little coin holds a great deal of history, artistry, and even potential value for collectors. The penny has been a central part of American coinage for more than a century, and the 1993 issue represents the continuation of this long tradition. While it may not be considered rare in the same way that earlier pennies from the early 1900s are, it still carries important details that make it worth studying in depth. The obverse of the coin features the bust of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who led the nation through the Civil War and helped abolish slavery. Lincoln first appeared on the cent in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth, making him the first U.S. president to appear on a regularly circulating coin. The 1993 penny continues this legacy with the same portrait design created by Victor David Brenner. If you look carefully, you will find the designer's initials VB placed on the shoulder of Lincoln, a subtle but significant reminder of the coin's artistic roots. Above Lincoln's head is the word Liberty. To the left is the date 1993, and just above is the national motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse side, we see the Lincoln Memorial, which had been used as a design since 1959. This reverse was created by Frank Gasparo, the U.S. Mint's chief engraver at the time. The Lincoln Memorial design replaced the earlier wheat ear design that ran from 1909 to 1958. The memorial is not just a building. It is a national symbol of unity and remembrance. A particularly unique detail to coin is that within the memorial, a very small and finely detailed statue of Lincoln is visible if you use magnification. This makes the 1993 penny one of the few coins in history to feature a president on both sides of the coin, since Lincoln's statue is visible on the reverse. Around the memorial are the words United States of America at the top and 1 cent at the bottom, with the national motto E pluribus unum, out of many one, inscribed above the memorial itself. The metal composition of the 1993 penny is also significant. Prior to 1982, pennies were struck mostly from copper. But in 1982, due to the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint switched to using a zinc core with thin copper plating. This was a major change in the history of U.S. coinage, because it meant the penny was no longer a primarily copper coin. The 1993 penny is therefore composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. The coin weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. While the change was not visually obvious at first, it introduced new issues such as corrosion and zinc rot, which continue to affect modern pennies today. Collectors often notice small bubbles, spots, or even holes in these coins when they are stored improperly, and that significantly lowers their grade and value. In terms of production, billions of 1993 pennies were minted at the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, while the San Francisco Mint produced special proof versions for collectors. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins carry the D, and San Francisco proof coins are marked with an S. Because so many were made, the 1993 penny is common in circulation and not rare in the general sense. However, rarity and value in coin collecting do not always depend on how many were minted. Condition, errors, and varieties play a huge role. The grading of 1993 pennies is a fascinating subject in itself. Circulated coins, those that have been used in everyday transactions, usually grade between good and very fine. These coins show significant wear and usually hold only face value. Uncirculated coins, however, can grade anywhere from mint state 60 MS-60 to mint state 70 MS-70, with MS-70 being a flawless coin with no marks under magnification. In addition, coin graders assign color designations to copper coins: brown BN, red brown RB, and red RD. A fully red 1993 penny, which still retains its bright copper shine as it left the mint, is far more desirable to collectors than a brown, dull example. This means that two coins of the same date and mint mark can have very different values depending on their condition and color. Proof coins struck at San Francisco are another important aspect. Proof coins are not meant for circulation. They are carefully struck multiple times on polished planchets with specially prepared dies. This process gives them a mirror-like background and frosted design details. A 1993 S-proof Lincoln cent in pristine condition is far more collectible than a normal business strike from Philadelphia or Denver. These coins were typically sold in proof sets to collectors, and many still exist today in excellent condition. Another factor that can make the 1993 penny valuable is mint errors. Errors are unintentional mistakes during the minting process, and collectors often pay high premiums for them. Some possible 1993 penny errors include double die obverse, where the lettering or design appears doubled, off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the planchet was misaligned, and wrong planchet strikes, where the design is struck on a coin blank meant for another denomination. Each of these errors can be worth far more than a regular penny, sometimes even hundreds of dollars depending on the rarity and demand. Now, let us discuss market value in today's terms. A standard circulated 1993 penny usually has no additional value. It is worth 1 cent. However, an uncirculated coin with strong red luster may sell for around $1 to $5, depending on the grade. Higher mint state coins, especially MS-66 or MS-67, can fetch $20 to $50 or more, particularly if graded and certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Proof coins from San Francisco may range from a few dollars to $20 or more, again depending on condition. Rare error coins, as mentioned earlier, can bring in much higher amounts, sometimes ranging into the hundreds of dollars for dramatic mistakes. In conclusion, while the 1993 penny is one of the most common coins in circulation, it represents far more than its face value when looked at through the eyes of a collector. It continues the story of Lincoln on U.S. coinage, carries symbolic national designs, reflects changes in the nation's economy with its zinc composition, and provides opportunities for collectors to find hidden treasures in the form of pristine examples, proof coins, and rare errors. For the casual observer, it may be just a penny, but for the collector, the 1993 1-cent coin is a reminder that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story can turn an ordinary cent into something worth far more.